Welcome to GREEDWATCH2018. My name's Coriander Dickinson, and maybe I'll just put like half an hour of Josh exhaling into his microphone as this episode.
Wait. There.
And the beard
have some of that
scratchers.
too.
Exhalation and the beard scratchers. Those are my co-hosts here on our Common Rider O's recap podcast.
Hi, I'm Exhalation A. Kagan.
I'm Beard Scratcher D. Wasserman. I will try not to cough on mic as much as possible, but I do have a cough.
As long as you don't do it while you're trying to talk, I can work around it.
Fair. Well, I'll still try to use my cough button.
Does that just make you cough more?
No, it's what I do while I never mind. Let me explain your joke to you, Josh. So you see, the mistake you have made is to think that a cough button would cause me to cough, when actually it's a button that I use to cover up the fact that I'm coughing.
A cough suppressant, if you will. Do something, Corey.
I was just mystified that everything went silent for a moment there. Just like, blessed relief.
This was your idea! Why, you can't complain about it?
Oddly enough, this is episode 10.
Hey, you two. Happy 10 episodes.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Happy
birthday!
10 episodes to you.
If Kugami were here, he would have a cake. Because that
would be so rad.
That motherfucker would bake a cake. Like, every day, I picture him waking up and making a cake and just being like, happy birthday, Tuesday.
There was an individual in this episode pushing a cart with approximately 20 or so cakes. I was hoping it would be 40 cakes so that I could make a reference, but it was not. And I believe Kogami baked all those cakes.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it. I think he was up at like sunrise making cakes. For the purposes of Cake Watch, I'm counting that as 6 because we only actually saw one, but I put 6+ because, there were clearly others.
Do we think that Kugami has robot help when he's making that many cakes? Or do you honestly
God, no.
No? He's none of his flying takoyaki bots or no little hawks, no murder hawks are helping him out?
No, he's an artisan. He's doing this himself. He's sifting his own flour. He's doing the whole 9 yards.
He doesn't even have a robot for telepresence.
That's right.
You know what?
Not even up to Sheldon's level.
I'm not ruling out that Satanaka is not a robot.
Okay,
Valid.
Yeah, that's fair.
Guess what? We start off with Kugami saying happy birthday to his biological lab. And because
Which is full of non-biological shit, like robots and motorcycles. So angry.
I feel like the writers of Kamen Rider 000 paid about as much attention in biology class as I did.
It's like if it was a technological research facility and they were making clones. Just,
It would be a lot rainier out, I suppose, if they were doing that. You can only make clones on super rainy planets. The humidity is it's good for their dewy clone skin. That is a reference to a terrible movie that I don't even like.
Blade Runner?
It is a reference to Blade Runner, yes. No.
Wow. You don't like Blade Runner?
Oh, wow. Get out of here.
I'm going to put that on Twitter.
Oh, and you know what else? I feel the same way about Christmas. Hacha!
Whoa, hot takes.
I hate things. And you know what else? Junk. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, biological lab that makes motorcycles and whatever the fuck. And we see a million cakes. And we see like shots of industry, for a second, it feels like the 1950s, like industrial film of the Kugami Corporation. Like, dun, 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 dun. Here at Kugami Biological Labs, we're making the future today. Dun, 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 dun. Here are some motorcycles or whatever. Dun, 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 dun. Here are some can bots. And then they all turn into octopus and fly away. Do we think that was a mistake?
Yes.
I think that's just the kind of wacky hijinks that they get up to at the Kugami Biological Labs.
You'd think after 10 years they'd have this shit under control.
I think that somebody, just like for a jape, activated them to see what would happen.
During the birthday festivities.
What a jape. What a clever jape. Well japed. Kugami lab person. And then we go to a conversation with Dr. Dollarm and aka Dr. Maki. Sadanaka has Kugami up on the Kugami iPad, and because her robot arms get tired after a while, now the Kugami iPad is just like propped up on like a grandma cart, the kind that I used to like carry around laundry and shit when I lived in Brooklyn.
It's a step ladder that is like tinfoiled to a little wheelie cart.
I mean, it's high tech as fuck.
Say what you will about Kamen Rider 000, but they know how to not spend money.
And I'm glad they put a webcam on it this time, because then his interaction with them makes a lot more sense.
That's true.
I kind of just assumed there was like it was built into the body of the tablet, but yes, there's maybe it's a wide lens so they can get more people in the shot. Who even knows? But
I think they spend all their money on like CGI octopus cans. I think that's the problem.
That's a lot of money. Gross eggs hatching, and fish sausages. Anyways,
and wieners.
And wieners. Dr. Maki, Dr. Dollarm is talking to Kugami on the Kugami iPad, and Kugami is waxing philosophical about how great all of the metal collection stuff that Maki has done. It's going great. And now they just need to figure out the proper vessel for all of these metals, for all of this unlimited power. And there are a bunch of choices.
But there's only one right choice. And that's O's.
It is.
Maki's got the brilliant idea of maybe a Greed could do it.
That's not a good idea at all.
So here's the thing. It's three choices. It's like a Greed, a human, or O's. And I'm like, is O's not human? Because I'm pretty sure he is.
This is a question that maybe the two of you can help me out with. It seems like they regard Kamen Rider 000 as an entity unto itself, and it just happens to be that underpants hobo wears the suit and is doing the jumping and flipping and kicking and tattoo-buying. But they don't... These feel like unconnected ideas. I mean, somebody kind of pulls it together later on when somebody... I think one of them is like, no, Edgy, he can't do this. He's an idiot. But I understand there's been 1,000 hours, million hours of this show. Can you just give me like the briefest reminder of like what other common... This is going to be hours of conversation, but like this isn't the only Kamen Rider. O's isn't the only Kamen Rider, right? That's a very long way of asking that question.
The short answer is no, but typically in the Heisei series, they don't, within the show itself, acknowledge the existence of previous Kamen Riders. Okay. So it's like they're starting with a blank slate each time, and at least in this era, they save any kind of acknowledgement of other writers for crossover movies, not the main series.
Got it. Goto is standing there in the office when Kugami is like, "Oh, this could is the place to put it." And I feel like Goto is going to go rogue at some point, right? He's got a
motorbike and a shotgun.
He's just getting pissier and pissier, and he really just wants to be crowned the prettiest girl in the room, and it is just not happening for him.
If only he'd been in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
He could be friends with a disembodied arm.
We should all be so lucky. Finally, Dr. Maki's like, well, Satanaka's like, answer him. And Dr. Maki's like, yes, totally. O's is the way to go. And also, I got a sharp new can for him.
Check out my new can.
It's a tiny tiger steamroller. It's adorable.
It is.
It is true. And now they have a can for each O segment, which makes me happy.
Does O's have an octopus body part coming?
Yes.
Young lady!
I mean, spoilers, but yes. Duh.
I'm terrified.
I won't tell you which part, though.
I hate
it's
this.
The head, maybe it's the arms, so maybe it's the legs. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, no. This is going to turn into a snuff film, isn't it? This is the longest con ever.
So Maki goes back to his lab where, for some reason, his ghetto blaster is playing Happy Birthday.
Sure.
And he turns it off. And I'm like, Does Kogami have control over every audio device in this laboratory, maybe? Or is Maki just really into Happy Birthday?
He doesn't like them. He doesn't like beginnings. He doesn't like the celebrations of beginnings, you guys.
True.
That dude likes endings. And you know how I know that? Because he says it every 2 minutes. A slight stutter step back. Dr. Maki is one of the most important people, it sounds like, in the Kugami Biological Motorcycle Lab. And yet, his office looks like squatters live there. Like, it's almost indistinguishable from where the Greeds live. It is a disgusting, sad office.
Let him live his truth.
I don't know.
I don't think anyone's allowed to clean there.
Probably. Because nobody's allowed to see his cool mural.
Yes,
which is a bunch of naked people and like a dinosaur.
And flying babies.
Yeah.
There's bees. There's bees in there.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot to unpack in that mural.
I wish I was smart about anything. It reminded me of whatever painting they based the opening credits of The Leftovers off of.
Oh yeah, like the Sistine Chapel type deal.
Yeah, but more of the like, hey guys, it's the apocalypse. It is all happening for you right now. This is it. This is the end of the world.
Quick aside, The Leftovers is a really good show.
I'm not going to disagree with you. But when I was working on arguably one of the more difficult jobs I have had, it was a weekly kind of topical pop culture show dealing with a lot of nerd and like genre culture. And we shot on Mondays starting at like 5:30 in the morning. And I was assigned to come up with last minute jokes for The Leftovers.
Which aired late on Sunday.
Which aired late on Sunday. And there is literally nothing worse than not only dreading the minutes until you have to go to work, but then watching possibly the most depressing TV show in the history of television.
And having to come up with jokes about it. Yeah. I feel like The Leftovers does not lend itself that well to a humorous dissection, but I mean, you're the professional.
You would be very right. The one, I'll see if I can find it. I burned almost everything I did on that show. But there was that one of them doctors, one of them floppy haired Doctor Who persons was in The Leftovers.
Yeah, Christopher Eccleston. And so the setup was something like, hey, that lovable Doctor Who is in this episode. Let's see what he's up to. And then it was, I forget which episode it was, but it was just then a quick montage of him getting punched in the face over and over and over again. And it could be literally any of the 3 episodes that focused on him.
Yes, well, we only did the joke once, but that was fun, and it was fun to watch people in the audience who love Doctor Who go like, "Oh no, I have to climb in the television and help him, my precious doctor! Oh no."
I mean, I feel like Eccleston is the least beloved of like the modern era doctors, but
yeah, for sure. And he was also like a villain in Heroes and a villain in the Thor. So.
Oh. Well, yeah, but it was Thor: The Dark World, so who even remembers?
Any non-Ragnarok Thor, who are we kidding? Any non-Goldblumdian Thor.
That is true.
Who could possibly care?
The first Thor is okay, and it does have a significant amount of Kat Dennings in it, which raises it in my esteem.
I just wanted it to look like the side of a cool guy's van, and they didn't get to that, and they didn't get to that until Ragnarok. Fair. I just want things to look like cool vans. Anyways, not a cool van is yes. So Dr. Maki is in his office. I hope we all noticed the little tiny arm doll chair.
Yes.
Oh. Bless the gift. Thank you, Corey, for the gift of making me watch this incredibly stupid show, because seeing that dainty little tiny puppet butt chair just filled me with like dance around the room joy and happiness.
Excellent.
So sad. It was such a sad office, such a sad, tiny little chair. Maki muses about endings, and then he's like, back to my observations, opens his observant window, which overlooks the Kugami Biological Motorcycle Factory Olympic-sized pool, where bomb-crazy Matthew Sweethair guy is checking his experiments to make sure the bombs still explode, and as it turned out, they do.
And he's all like, yeah, phase 3 is ready. And it like makes the egg sac wiggle in delight.
Yep. So here's the thing about this guy. He looks like a Japanese Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Okay. Does Andy Serkis have, but that's, I don't think Andy Serkis has Matthew Sweethair. And that is very assuredly.
No, but he does have bug eyes and like sort of like the Rowan Atkinson lips.
It's more like Andy Serkis as Smeagol from like the flashbacks in Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's like a crazy Andy Serkis. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, credits.
You got the medals. 1, 2. I'm sorry.
Good job. So the title for this episode that I had was Fist, an Experiment Superbike.
Mine is fists plural.
Oh.
But that's the only difference.
That sounds like a good weekend.
I mean, if somebody was like, listen, I know I'm not going to tell you anything else but these 3 things, I'd be like, okay, let's go. Let's do it.
I'm not super sure about that first one.
I'll go through the first 2 just to get to the superbike.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good call. You guys, Missoula's not feeling great.
Yeah.
She's all laid up. She's even in her human form, and just like she needs medals real bad, but they're coming, she says.
And she wistfully strokes Gamel's face.
Yeah, Gamel tries to give her one of his core medals, but no, they're incompatible.
That's not how that works.
It's not really going to help her at all.
Yeah.
And Uva's mad and has a golf club. Still.
Yes.
Yep.
Never stops having a golf club. Uva's like the Bob Hope of the Greens.
Yep. Meanwhile, you know who else isn't feeling good?
Hang on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because
segue.
Unlike Billy Joel's advice, I can't leave a tender moment alone. It was real nice. Again, just like a real nice emotional moment when Missoula stroked her buddy's face. That was like, it was completely surprising. I have not really been expecting any sort of emotional content from the Greeds besides them just sort of standing around and going, our evil plan. But Missoula seemed like genuinely touched. And am I allowed to ship Greeds?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Okay. Mizuva.
Wait, Mizuva?
Mzamble. Nah, I'll work on it. But they're just nice. I hope they get together. I don't know. I'm pulling for them now a little. Maybe they'll realize they don't have to be so evil, and what they really need is the power of love. What do you think, Corey?
I am a fan of that song, but I don't know how it will help in this situation.
Well, I mean, what if they decide, like, wait a minute, what we really want to do is like make farm to table beard wax or something. Like they could just like move to the country, and they could get like a nice little place and some bicycles and maybe like a golden retriever or something. And
you don't think Missoula would be putting fish eggs in everyone?
She would.
Like the moment she could.
She might try and fight it. Look, it's like they're just 2 kids trying to make a new start, making farm to table beard wax with their golden retriever, and eventually somebody's going to put some eggs in something. Look, this happens.
The thing about anybody having a relation with Gamel is that Gamel appears to be like mentally about 5 years old, which makes any relationship a little creepy.
Oh yeah. No, you know what? You're right.
I'm sorry.
No.
I don't want to crash your ship.
No. Maybe he could go to like night classes and like improve himself.
Maybe he'll age up or something.
Yeah, or maybe
hundreds of years old.
But he was like just some medals for a long time, so
not a lot of social development going on there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a pile of medals in a sarcophagus.
Yeah, you don't get socialized that way.
I want that to be. I'm not going to have a dating profile anytime soon or ever, but I was like, hi, I'm Josh. I'm Scorpio. I used to be a lot of metals in a sarcophagus for hundreds of years, but I'm out now and I'm learning things. Likes.
I'm ready to party.
Likes. Golf clubs. Hates. O's. You know who's not also feeling so good?
I hate you so much.
I love you. Merry Christmas. Mwah. Also, it's like April or some shit, but it's almost Christmas.
Josh Kagan's heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Oh, God, I have to go to the doctor.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Steal my segue, will you?
AG went a little overboard with his combo business, and Ankh is like, no more of that. You can't be trusted with the unlimited power of 3 yellow metals.
AG is achy.
He's literally like Flintstones hungover. Like he's got an he's got an ice pack, and he's like, "Ooh, I shouldn't have had all of that rock and rye
ribs.
Rock and rye. That's an acceptable. Okay. I feel like that's an acceptable Flintstones punchline. Thank you. And then the Murder Hawk comes in and is like, "Carl, I found you, bro. Carl, let's get out of here." And AG's like, "Hey, I found Bombing Guy. I'm gonna go chase him, even though I don't feel so good."
He had the Hawk follow Dr. Maki.
Yes.
Because AG is a smart boy. And Ankh's like, whatever. And then Hina's like, you're the worst. You're terrible. And Ankh's like, maybe I will go follow him. Not because I want to, just because it'd be interesting. Because I'm so tsundere.
And then he climbs out a window.
Yeah. And he's like, he's the worst, and he looks like my brother, which just makes it that much worse.
He has the sub's like he's terrible, and he has my brother's face. And it's like, well, he's got a little more than that. He seems to have his entire body, but I'm not.
It's not like that time the Joker's face got cut off.
It's not like that time the Joker's face got cut off, or Castor Troy.
Oh yeah.
And and then we're off. It's Bomby. We're back with our old buddy Bomby, and you know what he's doing? He's just packing up a big bag of bombs. He's
bubble wrapping them.
Yeah. Hey, you got to keep that shit safe. You don't want to be one of those bombies who blows themselves up. P.S. Always a news story I'm happy to see. Win-win. As long as no innocent people get hurt. I love reading about when bombies are like, hey, you know what'll be great? I'm going to make some bombs. Uh-oh. You know, I love it. It makes me so happy.
He's so into the idea of these bombs and what he's going to do with them that it causes a shark to drop.
Yep. He like literally births a shark.
Just fully formed from the egg cluster.
Bloop. Yes. Left
and then
shark.
Maki's like, oh, the second one. To which I reply, no, it's the third one, because there's one that turned himself into metals to feed them. There's one that AG beat up, and now there's this one. So learn to fucking count, Maki.
Maybe Maki didn't see the metals one.
Well, Maki isn't very good at observation then, is he?
I mean,
I'm salty.
No, he's a crazy man who talks to a doll on his arm. He's not good at anything. I'm not sure what he does.
I expect rigorous scientific method from him. Rigorous.
Anything. Just do it.
Count the sharks. 1, 2, and 3.
Count the shark. So yeah, and then he packs up his bombs, and then we see AG and Ankh. They roll on up to the lab,
and AG almost runs bomber guy over, which like would have been a faster solution to all their problems.
God. Then just for the rest of the episode, they go back to the couscousier and just
hang.
Just have snacks and hang.
Aw, that sounds nice.
Ankh's like, why are you so good at this? That dude's the one that was infected with the bomb, with the yummy, and the lair is in this building right here.
And he's like, I got 2 places to be. Hawk Can, I'm real sorry, Can. Even though this is your purpose in life, could you go after that guy?
Yeah. He's very apologetic to a non-sentient, just sort of robot thing. But it speaks to his character.
Then Ankh gets bodied by a shark.
Real bad. Literally bodied!
Yep. And then she's like, cheetah mode now. And Ankh's like, as when anybody asks him anything, is like, oh, stop asking me for stuff. And then does what he's told.
Don't boss me.
Yeah. And then AG like just wastes that shark in about 30 seconds flat because he knows how to kick a shark to death now.
He runs into the lab, which inspires Maki to put the entire lab into lockdown mode.
And then like have a really long monologue about endings and stuff at AG. Well, AG's like, wait a second, the bomber, and and what? You're terrible. And Maki's all like, whatever. What you gonna do? And he's just like, guess I'm gonna run after the bomber.
Well, he doesn't quite make that decision just yet. We throw to Parkland. Magical Parkland.
It's got an aquarium.
It's got a roller coaster. It looks like a very nice place to hang out. It's like a lot of stalls in the bathroom. We'll get to that later. It's
that's true.
It looks like a pleasant place to spend an afternoon, especially if you're Bomby.
Especially if you want to set a serial bombing record.
He's so proud of that.
The serial bombing Guinness Book of Bombing Records.
We set off 7 bombs in a row.
Woo! Nobody's ever done 7 bombs in a row. This is the big leagues.
I'm working on the musical version of this episode, which is called 7 Bombs for 7 Brothers.
I hope it has Julie Newmar in it.
Wow.
It's going to be some problems there.
I know.
We can add her in post. We go back to the non-lockdown part of the lab, and AG's like, well, I guess I better stop those bombs and get those yummies. And Dr. Dollarm is like, hey, but what if you didn't? Because look, shit happens. You gotta break at least 7 eggs to make an omelet.
You gotta kill so many people to learn anything.
That's just science, you guys. We'll be right back on That's Just Science. And then Edgy gets real fucking emo here. Like, really almost. Is this the part where he almost punches him?
That's when he comes back.
That's when he comes back.
When he comes back, yes. Okay. Sorry. That hasn't happened
yet.
So
he just runs off, and he runs off so fast that when he leaves the building, he's no longer henshined, even though he was when he was in the building.
He ran
he runs out of his henshin.
Yeah.
I mean, cheetah legs are not going to help him get anywhere faster.
Why did he have to get out of his... Can he only be in his...
I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Because it's expensive.
I think the answer is so that we can see all the emotions on his face as he sweatily runs through an amusement park defusing bombs.
Yes.
Or they had to do reshoots or something.
Yep.
I think they like to let the actors do stuff instead of just showing a suit all the time. It's that whole thing with not being able to see as much emotion through a helmet.
Yes, and when you have a quality actor like this gentleman, you want to see every single one of the 9 or 10 emotions that he is capable of pooping out.
Hey, that is at least 7 more emotions than Kamen Rider Ghost has.
I'm going to take your word for it. So AG goes to get some bombs. We briefly hang out with our old buddy Gotu. He is trapped in the lab. Everybody's trapped in the lab with a bunch of yummies.
Maki's the only one that can reverse it.
Yeah, and he just doesn't want to.
He's not gonna.
No.
He's like, I want to see what happens when you trap a bunch of people in a lab with a bunch of shark people.
Yeah.
Because I guess science? I could probably tell you. I have a guess. I suppose a guess isn't science.
Let's hear it.
I guess that they're all going to get killed by shark people.
Yep. That sounds about right. And that's why you're not the head of the biological motorcycle and octopus lab.
I suppose that's true.
You do not adhere to the scientific method. Cut to Bomby, who is sitting on a park bench by the amusement park that he's going to blow up. Hey, PSA from those of us here at GREEDWATCH2018/2019. If you are going to do crimes, and we don't recommend it, right, guys? We don't want people to do crimes.
Don't do crimes.
Yep.
Live your truth.
No, seriously, don't do crimes. But if you
don't do crimes.
If you are going to do crimes, try not to sit on a park bench right by where the crimes are going to be done and shout at the top of your voice about how excited you are about doing crimes.
And also don't have a notebook full of detailed information about the crimes that you are about to do.
Don't do that.
That you're caressing like the precious.
Don't, guys.
And then don't let some guy grab it from you.
No.
Even if he does, don't start shouting the word bombs over and over again while 2 policemen walk towards you.
Now, in Bomby's slight defense, a murder hawk does get all tangled up in his hair, distracting him long enough for AG to take the notebook. But then, yes, he does shout, "Oh no, my bombs, my wonderful bombs! Officer, go get that underpants hobo. He's got my book full of bombs, my delicious, lovely bombs that I'm going to murder
Somebody
people
stop
with."
that awful man.
Yeah.
At first he's saying sentences, but then eventually he's just shouting bombs over and over. He's not even, it's just one word.
He's got chutzpah. I'll give Bomby that. He really wants to better himself.
He's very committed.
Yes. But he's not maybe the best criminal.
He lacks a certain level of finesse.
It's true. It's true.
But he does
you
like
see
bombs.
In your more successful criminals.
What's that, Corey?
He does like bombs, though, and that's really appealing to the greed.
Oh yeah, sure. And reading between the lines, like from what we find out, it sounds like he started liking bombs more because of the greed. Like, you know, maybe he was just like, bombs are pretty cool, and then he got greeted up and he's like, fuck yes, bombs. My everything.
Yeah.
And also like an egg sack like sort of came out of his back and it looked real gross.
Was there an episode that they just decided to I feel like that's a lot of trouble for a 2-second flashback. It feels like a thing that they shot and then were like, nah, you know what? We have enough gross shit coming out of people.
Nah, I think they were on the set already and we're going to shoot that no matter what.
Yeah.
Anyway, so AG runs to the amusement park and shouts at people about bombs, but he's too late to stop the roller coaster because it can't be stopped once it's going, which is a bad system.
Sounds like a roller coaster.
I don't know what your alternatives are, but
basically all they can do is stop it from moving, which doesn't get the people off of it.
Yeah, now you've just
but like, you know, it gets them not continuing on a line towards more bombs.
It's true.
Fortunately, AG can run faster than bombs, and they're not like complicated, like I don't know which fuse to cut bombs. They're just like, oh, unplug the battery.
Yeah.
Real quick, let's go.
If you are looking for pulse pounding tension, keep looking, my friends, because there's no like, oh, which one? There's not enough time. It's counting down. It's just like he just kind of runs around and goes boop, 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 and unplugs all of them. And then the last one is in the toity.
Where he sees it, he's got like 10 seconds. And instead of like being like, shit, I better move it, he spends about 6 seconds looking back and forth to a kid by the sink and thinking about an exploding girl who gave him a rock one time. And then he like dives towards the bomb and unplugs it with a second to go.
He does throw the book at the child.
Oh, yes. And which just causes the kid to not turn off the faucet.
Right.
And then he gives him his underpants, which I feel like is going to get him put on a list somewhere.
Hi, I'm Josh Kagan from GREEDWATCH2018/2019. No matter how prudent you may think it is in the moment, please do not give a strange child your underpants. Thank you.
Especially in a bathroom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that
just makes it worse.
That's a corollary as fuck right there. Yes, do not give a child your underpants in the bathroom.
Like, I feel like the equivalent is a scene from Kikujiro, where a kid gets like accosted by a dude who's only wearing underpants in a bathroom.
Yeah. If you were
then gets beat up by Beat Takeshi.
Good. All right. Now I'm into it. If anything that involves children, bathrooms, and underpants, any kind of combination of those three things, you could be in trouble. Anyway, AG is very, very bad for the wear, and he seems to be having a terrible PTSD flashback. He's got a shaky hand and everything. While this is all happening, we throw back to the lab at some point during the last bomb disconnecting scene, but it's just Yummy's fucking up the lab. It's just mass hysteria. It's kind of...
If only somebody could have predicted that.
We didn't have all the facts.
Like, Goto's got his shotgun. He's doing what he can, but it's not a lot.
He's just shooting shark boys.
He can hack the system, but that's about it.
He is so happy to finally be able to shoot people in the chest. Even though it doesn't seem to be effective one iota, He's just like, finally. It's like Gatu came from like a different TV show where they just like a hard-boiled cop show where everybody just runs around and shoots people. And now he's trapped in this kid show. And every episode he's like, oh, but I just want to shoot people. So I'm glad. I'm glad he's getting to live his bliss this time around.
But the tragedy is that the gun doesn't do anything.
Yes, exactly. It's like a line from Alanis Morissette's Ironic.
Exactly.
You know what's ironic about that song? Never mind.
Get out.
Eiji makes it back to the lab, which is still on lockdown, and Maki is still in the underpass, I guess, hanging out and ready to talk smack at him again.
Yes.
But also to give him a present.
Again, Dr. Maki gives his real well-thought-out position, which is like, hey, but what if you didn't kill any yummies and they just sort of murdered everyone because...
Science!
Because science?
Because I want to see what happens.
But also, here's a can. It's got a little cheetah guy in it. And Eiji punches a wall so hard that it dents metal.
Yep.
All but saying, like, that could have been your face, my bro. And then knocks the little doll off his arm, at which point Dr. Maki goes into full meltdown mode.
First, Eiji punches the wall and is like, thanks for the can, but maybe, like, never talk to me ever again.
Yeah.
And then the doll falls off of his arm, and then he basically goes, like, full Pierrot from that episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Anyways, he starts to hyperventilate and panic and saying that he can't talk, even though it seems like he also can't breathe, and he's got no problems talking because he's talking a lot. And then he escapes out a side door.
So Eiji's got a tiger can. It's a little can. It's a tiger. It goes rawr. He tosses it at the bike. It fuses with the bike. Now it's a tiger bike. Woo!
Yes, and then it meets up with 19 of its friends and forms Voltron in that unfortunate second season. Where it's all vehicle.
That's a lie. That doesn't happen.
What?
Instead, Eiji tries to get on the bike as Oz, but the bike is too hot for him to handle.
Oh, yeah, why invent...
It's just tearing the fuck around.
Why invent
like
this?
A crazy bike.
Like it's at the Calgary Stampede or some shit. Like, what's happening? Why is this... Wait, okay, I'm going to make a super cheetah bike. You know what I better program into it? That it's unrideable.
You know what? Wild hearts can't be tamed.
And it hates sharks.
And wild sharks also cannot be tamed.
It goes through a door. It goes through a wall.
Yeah.
Which I guess gave Maki time to get his shit back together. Because now he's fine again.
Well, it's just...
He's like, I'm back. I'm okay now.
I got a doll in my arm and everything's A-okay, my friends.
Try a combo. Do a barrel roll.
And Onk's just... Oh, that's... dumb.
That's a neat trick.
Onk's like, no combos.
You're welcome.
No combos. And Eiji's like, oh, I'll combo you. And he just shakes him until the metals fall out, which is delightful.
I could have watched that for the rest of my life. Just a grown man. Here is what I want, really, though. I really want the unedited footage of a man dressed in a green outfit with just the arm and underpants hobo, just grabbing him by the wrist and shaking him back and forth. It was fucking delightful.
It's like the behind the scenes of like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I feel like there may not have been anybody like wearing the arm at that point. It may have just been like an empty arm that he was shaking.
What I really wanted him to do was turn the arm around and kind of start smacking the bottom of it like he was trying to get the rest of the ketchup out of a bottle.
Yes.
Just a little more ketchup. I don't know if we already said this, but Dr. Dollarm is like, no, it's cool if he has a combo because the bike eats the energy, right?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
and so Eiji combos up and gets on the bike, and he's like, hey, this did work.
Yeah,
all right. And then he goes after some shark boys, and he like stands up on his bike and swords them, and it's all real dynamic, and he fires like some big metals out of it and shoots them in the air, and there's metals everywhere, and shark boys are all dead.
And Ankh is too busy like swimming in the metals to even eat them.
Yep. He's just like rolling in them like Indecent Proposal style.
Oh God.
It's a lot of references today.
Somebody,
I know, right?
Somebody draw that. Somebody who's listening to this, please draw the Indecent Proposal poster with just Arnk on a bed full of medals and Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Coda. Right?
Yes.
We've now all of our business is done here now, yes?
Yes.
Maki's like soliloquizing about endings, and he's like, will Oz be the proper person to bring about the end of the world? Who knows? He seems dubious.
Is this Maki's plan or is this Kugami's plan? Because
I'm sure it's just Maki's thing that Maki wants.
Right.
I feel like Kogami just, even more than Maki, Kogami's just like, I want to see what happens. Let's just put all this shit out there and just see what happens. Just stir the pot.
I mean, certainly that goes along with Maki's scientific method. Like, it all comes from the school of, who even knows? Let's just look at it.
What if we made vending machines that turn into bikes? And we just put that out there. And we just, like, see what people do with it.
And instead of drinks, they dispense tiny cans, robots.
Yeah, could be good, could be bad. We just don't know. Let's look at it.
No technology is good or bad. It's how you use it. Let's find out.
Yeah.
It's a real Elon Musk kind of philosophy. Except Kogami doesn't have a cool girlfriend. He has Sachinaka. I guess that's close enough.
Kugami has Greeds, and Elon Musk has Grimes.
It's true. I have so many concerns about all of that. But anyway, that's a different podcast.
Back to the Couscousier for our humorful wrap-up.
So good.
Everyone, you know what? Everybody's just we fought Greeds. We have our good boys, our good arm boy and our good underpants boy. They had a busy day, and now they're having a nice meal.
Yeah, nice lunch that Hina apparently prepared for them. And Hina does not care if Ankh likes it, but she does care if Eiji likes it. Ooh.
The food is specifically on trays like a school lunch and not like a prison at all.
Yes, like a school lunch. I wonder what Couscousier's theme might be right now. Oh, apparently the strictest school ever. And I am there for it.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Yes.
So listen, this show has got its finger on my particular pulse. Let me tell you. Between last episode and this one, whew.
Oh.
Song is being read. Chiyoko corrects him. End of episode. The end.
The owner of the Couscousier comes out in stern teacher mode, which again, kind of like the scene that we saw. Calm your boner, my friend.
I can't. No, it's impossible.
Work on it.
I can't believe this is a kids show. How many children are developing fetishes from watching this show?
All of them.
Every last one. Well, you know what? We probably shouldn't make a kids show that has like strict teachers and miniskirts and stuff. But you know what? Let's just put it out there and see what happens. Now that, my friend, is biology.
That's a scientific method.
She comes out and she's dressed as like a strict teacher, and this is like it's like one of those things that feels like we're seeing the payoff of a joke that was never set up.
It's kind of the setup from the last episode when we found out what Eiji told her about Ankh. So I think she's trying to socialize him.
Oh no, that part I understand, but the part where suddenly she's like a mean teacher and they're eating off of trays and it's a school theme. It's just like, never too late to set up a gag, I guess. But so she tries to teach him how to be polite and hits him with the thing, and everybody just laughs and laughs. And that's and as Corey said, that's it.
That's all that happens.
I was completely fine with this episode. I liked it. A lot of things happened. There was a lot of running around and punching. There were some nice character moments. It was a pretty good half hour of garbage. What did you think?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. What did you think, Corey?
I liked all the dumb sharks and their stupid squishy bodies and moist skin, and they're swimming around in a school and frolicking like dolphins and then jumping up into the air and shooting from invisible guns.
Maybe it's because I'm so affectionate towards Katy Perry's internet famous Left Shark, but I said this last week, I love these guys. I want more of the shark yummies. I kind of wanted to give one a hug, just as like, I know their skin's like real sharp and stuff, but like they just kind of look all cuddly and foam rubbery, and they don't seem like bad dudes, except when they're doing all that murdering.
I like how much they use their arms to attack people.
Like sharks. Like real sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for all of us. So I will say thank you to anyone listening. And you can find me, Coriander Dickinson, on Twitter at Absolar.
Hey, everyone. I'm Josh A. Kagan, and you can find me on Instagram at Josh A. Kagan.
I'm Adam Wasserman. You can find me on Twitter at Gold Sarcasmium, where I will attempt to not be horny on main. Because I save it all for this podcast.
Greedy.
Is that what we're doing?
No.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what Corey's doing.
That's what I did.
Hey, she's the boss. She's the one who doesn't sign our not paychecks. Let's say it all at once. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Stay
greedy.
Oh, sorry.
Very close.
That was great.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.